But guess what, buddy? You married outside your community. So adjust, shut the hell up.
Okay, I want to be clear. That was the husband in his wife's parents' house in Kansas on a Tuesday, asking his wife with his full chest to, and I quote, shut the F*** up. And the part that the edit will not let you see is the adult woman in the kitchen doorway holding a casserole who was not his wife, who is in fact his wife's mother, who has, as of this moment, heard every syllable of her daughter's marriage since she moved it into her basement.
It's just not the right time. I mean, we're not even married yet. We're still living in my parents' basement. Let's go. And on top of that, my dad only has one rule for us, and that's not to get pregnant.
One thing's for sure.
Say hello to Lisa, the real protagonist of this show. Nobody cast her. Nobody asked her. The franchise picked Emily and Kobe and thought it was getting a K-1 visa romance, and what it actually got, and what it aired for 2 full seasons without ever naming, was the story of a mother running a boarding house whose tenants keep
Our relationship in China was really physical. And I've changed, she's changed. So I just hope that what we experience in China is just going to continue.
Backstory, brief. Emily Bieberly, mid-20s, Kansas, teaches English in China. Kobe Blaise, Cameroonian, is, and this is real, you cannot make this up, the franchise underplays it, an underwear model based in China. They meet, they date, Emily gets pregnant, Emily moves back to Kansas, Kobe, because of pandemic visa delays, gets stranded in China. For roughly 2 years, they are separated by ocean, border, and bureaucracy. Kobe has never spent meaningful, uninterrupted time with his own son. Emily is raising the kid in her parents' house. Then the K-1 clears, and the film crew arrives, and Kobe lands. And then, and I want you to really mark the speed of this, Emily gets pregnant.
We didn't want to tell you before the wedding because we want everyone to enjoy the wedding and not stress.
From the moment I found out, I'm like, I should tell him,
It's just sweet.
Oh God. Well, how far along are you and what's the deal?
10 weeks.
Jesus.
Not within the year, within what appears from the edit to be weeks. And the second pregnancy is kept secret from her parents until after the wedding. Because Emily knows, in the way you know when your mom has politely declined to comment on your life choices. But you can see her jaw that the announcement of a second baby before the ink on the marriage license is dry is not going to go over well.
She's pregnant again. Kobe?
Emily's parents had told them explicitly, do not have another kid yet. You just got back together. You do not have your own housing. Kobe has no job here yet. Give the first child a sibling when the family has a roof that is not the one over Lisa and Gabe's casserole. That was the instruction. Emily and Kobe heard the instruction, looked each other in the eyes, and had another baby. And then, because apparently once was not a sufficient declaration of independence, they had a third.
Are you freaking out, honey?
Baby.
What?
Man, I can't believe like this is happening.
I know. I cannot believe it's been 2 years.
I get to hold you in case you.
I know. So funny. And it was supposed to be a one-night stand. Look at us now.
Look at us, baby.
Look at us now, baby.
3 kids, Coben, Scarlett, Atem, and a 4th in play, per a 2025 clip the franchise is saving for season 9 of Happily Ever After, because this couple is the franchise's renewable resource. Their one kitchen ecosystem, their sustainably harvestable drama. TLC is not paying Emily and Kobe a salary. TLC is paying them per episode, and episodes require incidents. And incidents, in this household, are statistically most likely to begin with the words, I have something to tell you, Mom.
I feel like I'm trying to help him, and he's like telling me to shut the up.
Here's where it gets interesting, because Emily is not, as Reddit loves to frame her, simply a brat. Emily is a woman who has been, for years, running a household as a de facto single mother in her parents' basement. She has developed management skills. She has developed executive function muscles. She is, let's be honest, the operations director of a small 3-generation company. And when Kobe arrives, when the K1 clears, she does not know how to stop being the manager, because being the manager has been her entire job. So she manages him. She manages his friends. She confronts his exes on camera about things those exes told her about him in a tone I would describe as HR investigator. That is not a wife. That is a compliance officer.
Well, I wouldn't think of it as a woman to a man thing. I think person to person, maybe. I know Emily can be pushy and she can be bossy, but...
And Kobe, correspondingly, is doing the other half of the same pattern. Kobe was an underwear model. He is not, by temperament or training, a subordinate. He is used to being the center of a room. He walks into his in-laws' house in central Kansas and finds himself, suddenly, the lowest status adult at the dinner table. Below Emily, below Lisa, below, I would argue, the dog. He is a guest in a house he cannot leave. He has no money of his own. He has no English-speaking support system. He is a son he barely knows, and he is being told by his wife what to do. Of course he snaps. Of course the snap comes out as shut the F star up. That snap was on the itinerary. That snap was scheduled. If Kobe had not snapped, the franchise would have engineered the conditions for him to snap until he did. This is content, and the content requires a snap. And here is where I want to push back on the Reddit consensus, which is almost unanimous that Kobe should have left. Leave, Kobe, leave. Go. You are a grown man. You have options. Except, and this is where the genre pundits keep missing the plot, Kobe does not have options. Kobe's not a man with savings and an apartment and a network of friends and LinkedIn he can dust off. Kobe is a Cameroonian immigrant in central Kansas whose entire legal, financial, and social architecture in this country is his marriage. Leave Emily and he is leaving his visa status, his kids, his income, and his housing in one act, with no backup. The reason the snap is just a snap and not a suitcase is that the snap is, structurally, the only tool in the toolbox. Kobe cannot quit. He can only raise his voice.
That on each side.
What was your biggest takeaway from the trip to Cameroon?
Oh my gosh. I tell everybody, they ask me what was Cameroon like. I said, for me, there were two things. One is
And Kobe, to his credit, knows this. There is a confessional earlier in the season where he says, with remarkable clarity, that he is aware the whole thing could fall apart. And if it does, he goes back to Cameroon with nothing. That is a man who has mapped the exits. That is the man who is choosing to stay. That is the man who understands the math. Emily, Reddit's favorite villain, is the variable in the equation, but Kobe has already solved for her. Okay, pivot. Because this is where the episode gets interesting, and it's the part nobody says out loud.
Emily must have got pregnant.
The pregnancy was the pitch. Emily and Kobe had been separated by an ocean for over 18 months before the K1 visa cleared. They had not shared a room. They had not shared a meal. They had not, in any practical sense, lived as a married couple. The first child was conceived in China before the separation. The second child was conceived in Kansas, in Emily's parents' basement, within weeks of Kobe landing, while a film crew was in the house. Think about what that means. Think about who benefits from that timing. A K-1 storyline with no baby announcement at the end is a dull season. A K-1 storyline with a surprise pregnancy is a renewal. Emily and Kobe did not sit down with a producer and agree to conceive for content. I am not accusing them of that, but I am saying, loudly, that the structure of the show, the interview questions, the production pressure, the financial incentives all point in one direction, and that direction is another baby. And both spouses understood this without needing it spelled out. The show basically funded their reproductive calendar, and in exchange, the show got 3 seasons and 4 children's worth of material. This is a co-production. Think about the arc from the producer's desk. A K1 couple that reunites happily after 2 years of separation is a 30-minute special. A K1 couple that reunites and immediately gets secretly pregnant in a basement in Kansas is 8 episodes. A K1 couple that does that twice is a whole new show. The franchise did not need to explicitly ask. The franchise just needed to keep showing up with cameras, and the couple would know, in the wordless way you know these things, what the franchise wanted the next plot point to be. And the couple economically and dramatically delivered.
Lot. There's been some drama as well. The bride price, I do want to talk about that. You had an issue, Mrs. Lisa, with the bride price.
It's just the whole principle of the thing for me. It feels like we're selling margin.
Meanwhile, in the background, Lisa, mom, is doing the actual work. Lisa is making the breakfast. Lisa is watching the older kid while Emily goes to her OB appointment. Lisa is lending money and then lending more money. And then, on camera, in one of the quietest, most devastating beats of the entire series, politely declining to lend the next installment because Lisa has figured out that every dollar that enters this household leaves as another grandchild. Lisa is the one setting the actual terms.
I am telling you right now, Emily gets her behavior from her mother. Her mother most definitely is the one that is in charge. The dad rolls over to the mother.
And that is the most powerful clip in the corpus, in my opinion. It is not the husband screaming. It is the mother quietly saying enough. Because the mother is the only person in the house with any leverage that does not run on camera time. Lisa can close the basement door. Lisa can stop signing checks. Lisa can, with 0 television drama and 0 raised voice, end the boarding house arrangement that is now a 4-person family. That is real power. That is the power the show does not know how to film, because the show is set up to record yelling, and this woman...
Let's get into it.
Tonight, Emily and her mom took up to visit her grandma, so it's just me and her dad here in the house. When he says he wants to talk about something, Emily's dad is a big guy and he's a little intimidating. And
Lisa is every mother I have ever known who opened her home to an adult child for a couple of months and woke up 3 years later with 2 extra humans in it. She is a genre of American mother. And the franchise stumbled into her and had no idea what to do with her because the franchise does not have a template for the grandmother as the functional head of household. There is no reaction GIF archetype for Lisa. She does not scream. She does not cry. She puts a casserole on the counter and asks, with a flat affect that would make a hostage negotiator proud, whether anyone has thought about the mortgage. Now pivot again. Because I want to zoom out to the thing this show is actually about, underneath the costume of a K1 visa romance. It is about enmeshment. It is about an adult daughter who, having moved back into her parents' house during a pandemic, cannot figure out how to move out, and an adult husband imported from another continent who does not have the social capital, the financial capital, or the English language capital to help her.
My name's Emily. I'm 29 years old and I live in Salina, Kansas.
In November 2023, they finally buy their own house in Salina, Kansas, while Emily is pregnant with what I believe is baby number 3. Although at this point, I am counting on my fingers. The purchase of that house is supposed to be the show's triumphant Act 3 beat. The K1 couple makes it. The son-in-law gets his green card. The family has its roof. Roll credits. Except the purchase of that house is To the eye of anyone who has watched the last 2 seasons, another baby's worth of debt. Transferred from Lisa's basement to a 30-year mortgage Emily and Kobe cannot easily afford on their own. The basement did not end. The basement got a zip code.
Emily,
Yes.
you know, fans have expressed their opinions about your behavior toward Kobe at times, calling you entitled, bossy, a brat. What are your thoughts on their critiques?
Well,
And Reddit keeps calling Emily bossy. That's not wrong, but it's underdescribed. Emily is not bossy. Emily is mid-management. She is the floor supervisor of a household she inherited from her mother, and she is applying her training to a husband she imported. He resents the training. She cannot turn off the training. The training is the only skill she has that didn't get put on pause by the pandemic. To be fair, and this is real, Emily and Kobe are by every public account still together, still raising 3 and change kids, still showing up for each other in a marriage that, by the normal rules of reality television, should have imploded on camera by season 2. They didn't. They are, in fact, the franchise's rarest thing, a couple that stays, that works, that builds. And Kobe, when he is not snapping, which, to be clear, he mostly is not, is, by Emily's own account, a present father and a patient husband. This is not a disaster story. This is a weird, functional survival story. But I want to end on Lisa, because Lisa deserves the credit Lisa is not going to get from the edit.
Baby number 4. She never planned it.
Lisa raised her daughter. Lisa then, substantially, raised her daughter's first kid. Lisa is now approximately 40% responsible for the second and third. Lisa has watched a son-in-law from Cameroon move into her finished basement, have her grandchildren, and eventually buy a house 20 miles down the road. And Lisa has said almost none of what she is thinking out loud. Emily and Kobe got a show. Lisa got the actual job. The couple got the green card. The mother got the kids. TLC got the content. And somewhere in Cameroon, an underwear calendar from 2019 is asking where its cover model went. If you made it this far, you either love me or you're looking for something to yell about in the comments. Either way, like, subscribe, and tell your sister.